Is there anybody there?
Welcome, Mr. Taylor, to my domain.
What am I doing here?
Come, make yourself comfortable, Mr. Taylor. I've a few questions to ask you. What prompted your decision to write horror, Mr. Taylor?
Well, thank you very much for asking me, Vincent. I actually write and perform quite a bit in children's entertainment, and the problem with children's entertainment is you have to be incredibly squeaky clean. And I've always found, talking to other children's entertainers, that they often have quite a dark sense of humour, and I think it's because they have to be so well behaved all the time that writing a horror story was a really great escape for me, and it gave me the chance to be really, really evil, which I can't be in my professional life.
I wonder if you could tell our listeners which authors inspire you.
Well, I'm very inspired by the works of Stephen King. I've read an awful lot of his stuff, and I thoroughly enjoy him. In terms of children's authors, Jacqueline Wilson, I love her stuff. The emotion and the humour that she gets is just fantastic. And one of my favourite books of all time, because it's a real mixture of horror and comedy, is Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Perhaps you could tell our listeners something about your forthcoming horror story.
Well, my story is called Musica Mortis, which any Latin fans out there will know, music of the dead. It's all about a chap who plays the piano and he composes a piece of music, but it's a rather special piece of music because it makes people do things. There's only one problem. This incredibly sad man who's composed this music has chosen probably the nastiest person he's ever met to notate the music. It's a real tribute to Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and those wonderful horror films that I grew up with, particularly the Amicus horror films. I also, as a child, used to love a collection of short stories which was called the Pan Book of Horror Stories, edited by a chap called 𝗪𝗶𝗰𝗲𝘀. And those stories were brilliant. They were a real eclectic mix. And the chance to be published in a collection of horror stories was something that I just am so excited about.
Thank you for answering our questions, Mr. Taylor.
Well, thank you very much, Vincent. Well, I must say I'm quite keen to get out of here. In fact,
No, Mr. Taylor, you can't go anywhere.
I'm dying to go.
Oh, Mr. Taylor, you don't understand. You're dead already. Coming soon, and we're all dying to read it.